U.S. Appeals Court clears AT&T's $81 billion merger with Time Warner. Federal Appeals Court has cleared AT&T's takeover of Time Warner, rejecting a challenge from the Trump administration by saying it failed to prove that the $81 billion merger won't harm consumers or competition in the pay TV market. So keep in mind, Trump opposed this merger, which that's actually a good thing. Trump got this one right. Because even a broken clock is right twice a day. But the reason Trump doesn't like it is because of the CEOs. It's a power struggle for him. Like, he butted heads with some people at AT&T, so he's like, well, your merger's a bad idea. It's not because of ethics or because he's opposed to, the corporate takeover of the United States, which we already have. It's because he doesn't want somebody to be more powerful than him. He got it right, but not for the right reasons. But anyway, so that's what they're referring to when they bring that up. But getting back to the article itself, the ruling by the U.S. Court of Appeals in Washington came Tuesday in the high-stakes competition case, approving one of the biggest media marriages ever. It was already completed last spring, soon after a federal trial judge approved it, as phone and pay TV giant AT&T absorbed Time Warner, the owner of CNN, HBO, the Warner Brothers movie studio, Game of Thrones. I like how they mention HBO, but then they go on to make Game of Thrones its own thing. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I get it, man. People love that freaking show, myself being one of them. They're just like, that's beyond network at this. Well, it's part of HBO, so we get it. If you say HBO, we get it. Like, no, it's its own fucking thing. It gets its own line. An editor was probably like, you say HBO and Game of Thrones. Is that like we keep them both? All right, fair enough. Winter is coming. Yeah, we get it. This merger. It's going to be a big fucking winner for anyone who gives a shit about digital rights at all. You know why? Because AT&T owns CNN now. AT&T is also an internet service provider. Do you think AT&T isn't going to want to do everything they can? Oh, and we don't have net neutrality, by the way. We don't have net neutrality. So now AT&T, an internet service provider who owns CNN, is going to be free to throttle any content that they want to. They're going to be free to throttle any content that can't pay up. And you think they're not going to want to do that? They own HBO. They own CNN. You don't think they're going to want to stamp out all the competition they have? Like independent media on YouTube? Or independent media elsewhere? Yes, of course they are. Of course they are. And we don't have net neutrality. It's being battled out in the courts right now. But if we lose, and we lose net neutrality, what do you think is going to happen now that AT&T owns media outlets? They own media outlets, and they also own your connection to the internet. So what are they going to do? They're going to do everything they can to stamp out the competition to their media outlets. And now they can do that because we don't have net neutrality. There's no law protecting the internet as a free and open publishing platform. So this merger is huge. With regards to the loss of net neutrality, this merger is huge. And it's going to be a disaster. Let's see if there's anything more to the article. Many observers had expected the decision favorable to AT&T. So the case, let's see, AT&T has asserted the merger will save it money on content from Turner Broadcasting, enabling it to reduce charges to its DirecTV customers by at least $78 million a year. I'm sure. So, just a day after this decision, Comcast jumped back into a bidding war with Disney. Disney eventually won, and Comcast bought British broadcaster Sky instead. So now they're all trying to merge as much as they can. Now they're all trying to gobble up other media as much as they can. So what do you get when the person that owns your connection to the internet, that controls your connection to the internet, also controls media? You're going to get favorability to that media and not favorability to everything else. Man, there should be a law protecting you from something like that. There was. It was called net neutrality. It's gone now because of Trump's FCC. So this merger is disastrous news. It will be reported on at a minimum by big cable, by all the media outlets. And we got to get big cable trending on Twitter, by the way. Hashtag big cable. This is something we need to start talking about this more. We got big pharma. We got big oil. We got to start talking about big cable. And I know you're thinking, there's so many things going on, Ron. How do we... I get it. I get it. Trust me, I'm right there. But, pick a lane and start, because we've got to. And right now, this is in my lane, because my lane is municipal broadband. What is that? That is city-owned internet. City-owned internet solves the net neutrality issue for us, because it takes the internet out of the hands of AT&T and Comcast and puts it in the hands of the people. That's got to happen in every municipality in this freaking country. And net neutrality is important too. Why? Because if we lose the medium, it's over. It's over. It doesn't come back. Look at what happened to radio. Look at what happened to television. Once you lose it, it doesn't come back. So this merger is disastrous news. And right now, we are fighting on the lines for net neutrality. We're battling it out in court. But it's only a matter of time before big cable wins this thing. We're not going to be able to hold the fort down forever. We need a permanent solution. The permanent solution is municipal broadband all across the country.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your